Namaste, yoga friends. My name is Doreen Foxwell. Welcome to today's Kids Yoga Meets Astrology. Today is Monday, January 13th. And today on Monday, January 13th, it is a full moon. And Monday is traditionally known as Moon Day, hence the name Monday. And so what we couldn't have picked a better day, let's say, for a full moon to happen. And it's the first full moon of 2025. This full moon is falling in the sign of Cancer, and Cancer is ruled, it's called, by the moon. Every single zodiac sign has a planetary, let's just call it, ruler. This is just astrology talk, but basically when it falls in that sign, it kind of lights up that moon even more and the qualities of that zodiac sign. So Cancerians, they are known as putting family first, home front first, nostalgia first. These things are very, very important to a Cancer. So if you have a child that is a Cancer, they're going to love to always be home. They're going to love their room. They're going to love to do family time and family things, traditional things. If you have a child that's a water sign, because Cancers are water signs, like a Scorpio and or a Pisces, like me, you may be affected by this full moon as well. Full moon always affects the emotions of children, some more than others, and adults too. It's always a busy time at hospitals, you'll see, because of emotions taking over with things that happen, decisions being made. A Cancer full moon is going to make you look at the balance in your home and family life, your child's balance in home and family life. It's going to make you look at things that maybe were nostalgic or are nostalgic, but do they make sense anymore to follow that way? You know, we're coming out of the holidays, and the holidays for many families are about nostalgia, and there's certain things you always do a certain way, but is that still working for you? That's sometimes something to look at in a Cancer full moon. And yes, even for the children, because, the kids today, let me tell you, a lot of my kids today, there's a 9-year age difference. And what's important to the older one isn't always important to the younger one. And even they have sometimes that disconnect because of it and forget about what's important to my generation and me, because that's out the window with both of my kids a lot of the times, and they don't understand why I get so upset and emotional about nostalgic things. So that's a Cancer full moon. But there's even more going on right now that happened over the weekend. Over the weekend, there's something called the North Node and the South Node, where we're going and where we're coming from. And it changes about every 2 years. Let's just say every planet's axis and Earth's axis, and it just changed from the sign of the North Node being in the sign of Aries and Libra for almost 2 years into Pisces and Virgo. And I have to laugh because I'm a Pisces, my daughter's a Virgo, and oh yeah, we couldn't have been more different with her growing up. There was a lot of friction when she was growing up. Now it's great, and we have a beautiful relationship, and we can talk every day, and sometimes more than once a day. But sometimes I notice sometimes she gets annoyed or irritated, and that friction, shows up again, and I just laugh because they're kind of opposite signs on the zodiac. So whenever you have opposite signs, it's a push and pull, push and pull. So right now we just went into Pisces North Node and South Node of Virgo. Virgo is the practical one. Things should be done a certain way, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There is no coloring outside the line. This is the system, this is the way. Love it. Pisces are the dreamers, Pisces are very creative sometimes when they come up with ideas or things to do, or sometimes Pisces have their rose-colored glasses on and they just can't see through them, where a Virgo can. And so you've got this change that just happened. So it's a great time to bring dreams into reality and to dream things up. But you're going to have that pull happening from the Virgo being like, and how are you going to do it? And can you do it? And what do you need to do it? And what's your time frame of doing it? So this is what's happening with the Pisces North Node and Virgo South Node that is going on. Also, what is happening later tonight, and this is East Coast New York time, after the moon is fully full at 5:26 p.m., we're going to have the moon passing over the planet Mars. Yep, it literally is passing the path of Mars, or Mars passing the path of the moon, depending on which way you look at it. And what's going to happen when that happens is the moon will take on some of that Mars energy. Mars energy is very different than Cancer energy. Mars energy, Mars is the planet of action, the planet of war, the planet of friction. So just keep in mind tonight that if there's something that's irritating you, upsetting you, bothering you, maybe put a pin in it just for tonight. And tomorrow that passing, that eclipse will be over and done with, and you can face it with a little bit of a clearer head. You'll still have the flavor of the Cancer full moon because that carries over into the next day or two. It is a great time for you to put out crystals. I put out our moonstone, and I put my blue, I think it's blue lapis, it might be something else, but a blue crystals. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart right now on a moon Monday, so no question. Also a great time to do moon water, especially in glass. You should do your moon waters in glass. It doesn't have to have a crystal like mine does, but it's a great time to make moon water. Just sit it on a windowsill if you're in a very cold climate, or put it outside in the warmer climates, though it has been kind of cold in these warmer climates too the past week or two. And charge your crystals. That means that they're going to take on the energy of this beautiful moon, activate them, because remember, crystals come from the earth, they come from outside, they come from the ground. They used to be outside in the sun and the elements and the moon, and it used to go through these cycles as the crystals were forming. And so then, you know, crystals are cut and shaped and polished, some of them, and then of course sold. They go through this whole thing, and then once they get to you and you get your crystals, it's like they're not outside in those elements. They're not connected to earth as much. So it's very important to cleanse your crystals and to charge them. And you can cleanse them first in sunlight, put them out while it's still sunny, and then they'll charge tonight in moonlight. You can cleanse a lot of crystals in water or in smoke. Not cigarette smoke, but smudging, if you know what that is. And or just with the intention of cleansing them, and just by holding them and doing an intention of how you're cleansing your crystal and what you want to use this crystal for, whether it's for healing, whether it's for your heart, for love, for friendship, for family, relationships. So that's how you would do it, with intention. And I believe that brings us to everything we were discussing on this moon day, this happy full moon in the sign of Cancer. And you Cancerians, don't forget that the glyph, it's called, of a Cancer is a crab. And there's a reason for that. That crabs are hard shell on the outside, but they're mushy and gushy on the inside. You'll have some Cancers that are soft shells, and you know their feelings, and they let their feelings out and whatnot. And then you have some Cancers that are hard shell, and they don't let much past that hard shell. They don't let much out. So On the full moon, those kind of emotions might boil over, and they might not. Use them for good. And so I am going to leave you today with the last and final thing to do on a full moon for yourself and your child. If the moon is showing through any windows, sit in front of it and just meditate for a little bit. Could be a minute for a child, could be 5 minutes. I do it based on age. If they're 3 years old, that's the maximum time they can do is 3 minutes if you're lucky. If they're preteens and teens, they can do at least 5 minutes meditating. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could just be closing your eyes and focusing on your breath, and that's it. And there are so many other beautiful things that we do with meditations, from chants to meditations where you follow along on a story, to meditations that have music or no music. I personally love silence, peace and calm. And with that, I will say namaste. Have a great yoga day. Happy Moon Day, happy full moon in Cancer. I will see you next time.